Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we're going to train 1 hour of chess. I am on the other side of the planet, which is why we're finally having an early stream, because it's midnight for me, but probably a reasonable hour for you. So yeah, I'm in Thailand, and I'm pretty jet lagged, even though I tried my best to avoid it. I had to take a nap earlier, which isn't ideal when trying to fix the jet lag. But somehow I'm still actually quite tired, so I reckon I could probably go back to bed pretty soon and then actually get to a normal kind of sleep schedule. But no, I mean, Thailand has been great so far. Like, I've had a really nice first day. And it's also cool as well because like a lot of the experience I gained from like traveling in Asia means that there are now things in Thailand that I didn't realize were there, which I can now make the most of. So one example of this is I went to an onsen today, and like I only knew about onsens after traveling to Japan. But now I'm like, oh damn, there's onsens in Thailand as well. So yeah, basically, yeah, it's cool, and I'm looking forward to meeting up with some friends and just enjoying the good food, man. Like oh, the food is so good. But anyway, I could talk about this all day. So let's get into some chess training. And I actually have Arjun to thank for this stream because he was like, "Yo, when are you streaming?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It's a Tuesday?" And then I was like, "Wait, I didn't stream yesterday, right? Because I was at the airport. I was like my total journey time was like 28 hours or something. Because I had like a mega overlay in Finland. So basically, like I'm still kind of exhausted and drained from the long travel, but yeah, no, it's been good, and basically I'm down to keep up this chess grind while I'm here. So let's get into some Woodpecker. Let's train some calculation. Let's see how this hungover jet lagged brain is working. I say that as I just wait one second. What the hell? I just straight up like rubbed my eye and like pushed it aggressively. Okay, should be fine. Jesus Christ. God, first time for everything. Press your eyeball too hard and invert it or some shit. Okay, welcome Aaron to the stream as well. Can you unban my other accounts? Let's keep the good behavior until the new year, and then I'll consider it. But okay, let's get into some training, Aaron. So I saw your message saying intuition is bishop b5. That's a pretty good intuition. I mean, we've got this X-ray pressure on the king and this pressure on the pawn, right? So it could well be. But yeah, let's do a proper evaluation. So we've got queen 2 rooks bishop, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so we've got an extra pawn. Yeah, what else is there to know? Okay, so their king is quite weak. They've only got this g3 pawn left to defend. Our king is also quite weak. It's not able to castle what's in the center. Both got a light squared bishop. This pawn is dangerous. Okay, we've got pressure on g3. So I remember we had this conclusion the other day that starting with the pressure is like a good idea. And then talking about the x-rays is good. And then looking at any loose pieces. Queen on d3, queen on g5. Fine. Yeah, and I guess when looking for checks, captures, threats, I mean this is where you see like this is a check. This is also a check. You see that these are captures. And then we've got Arab's intuition, this bishop b5 threat. Maybe rook g8 is a threat. Right, so on all of this, let's look at our checks first. So queen takes, no follow-up. Pawn push, probably king h1. And we can't get onto this diagonal too easily. Okay, and then what about our captures? This is definitely no good. And then threats, I mean, bishop b5. If they take it, then we've got this check and mate, right? So bishop b5. If they move the queen, the idea is that we'll take an exchange, which is useful. So can they create some kind of counter threat? Not really. I mean, our queen and rook are defending these squares. So yeah, it might just be this. Also, if bishop c4 blocks, we can take and then take. I think you got it, Arif. Nice intuition. So yeah, we just take the rook, and happy days. Rook f5. Oh, I didn't consider this move. I also didn't consider all of the checks. I didn't consider what happens if rook e8. This of course is the idea. Rook f5. So let me think in this position. Had rook f5 been played, that is quite scary. Probably just queen g6, right? Because they still can't take our bishop due to queen takes g3. And the rook is like pinned to the queen, right? So the rook can't move like rook f6 or something, because then queen takes d3. Oh, apparently not. Bishop d3, rook g5, h2, and f5. With bishop e4 deciding the game. That's very interesting. But isn't queen g6 just fine? Oh, queen g6 is not fine because the queen just moves. There's no more pin onto the rook on f1. I don't know why I thought that queen g3 would maintain the threats, but no, of course the queen can just move. And crucially as well, yeah, the queen can't just move anywhere because then the rook hangs, but the queen can move to f3. Just didn't even consider it, which is pretty shocking. Yeah. This is not easy to see though. I mean, this to me looks like it's fairly still, but yeah, if you just continue looking at your checks, and f5 is a hard move, but you want this bishop e4, so yeah, it's a very nice find. Why are they not showing this line? Which line are you talking about, Arif? It's a lot more interesting. I have no idea what you're talking about because they are showing bishop b5. And they show this line as well, right? Okay, that's a good wake-up call. So I forgot to look at checks. And I forgot to look at counterattacks on the queen. Yeah, this is why you need to have very good health going into tournaments. Not be jet-lagged. I remember some players in like the FIDE World, Rapid and Blitz in New York really were suffering from some like bad jet lag for the tournament. It really makes a difference. Okay, right, so we've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got an extra pawn for black. We've got knight against bishop, against light squared bishop. King, there's a bit of an x-ray, there's a bit of pressure, but it seems okay. There's no knights like ready to jump in and cause some problems. Their king also seems pretty safe to me. Okay, what about x-rays in the position? There's rook to queen, there's queen to rook, queen to king. Bishop towards these pawns. Right, and what about, what about just the pressure? I don't know why I was looking at x-rays first. There's some pressure like this. And then what about threats? Why am I talking about threats? What about loose pieces? Loose pieces. So there's a loose bishop on e4, loose rook on h7. Maybe this rook can become loose if the bishop has to move. So maybe move like f5 or something where the bishop moves and then somehow this can be exploited, right? So there's some ideas. Okay, and then what about checks, captures, threats? So no checks. Any captures? Yes, we've got rook takes f2. We can sack on d4. And what about threats? F5 is a threat. Could even be like F5, E5, right? F5, E5. Because right now E5 like doesn't work because this is not hanging, but maybe like F5. The bishop literally has nowhere else to go. If bishop F3, then E5. And I'm actually threatening to push E4 as well. If they take with the bishop, I just take with the knight. Yeah, it looks extremely strong, so yeah, this just wins. F5, okay, let's consider all of our checks and counterattacks from the opponent. So there's no checks. Counterattacks, they could try taking on G6. I take on E4, but then if they take on H7, I just go King H8, and it looks very safe. I've also brought in some lateral defense from the queen, so looks fine. Yeah, I think F5, E5 is the way. Nice. So here we just take, right? There's nothing to worry ourselves with. Probably we should have calculated this and seen that this is a check, but we can luckily just take back. Okay, let's go. Good stuff. Welcome, Pris, and thank you for the compliment on the haircut. Yeah, I got that done today, actually. I was thinking, like, okay, since I'm so, like, jet-lagged from the flights, what are all the kind of, like, logistical things I need to sort out, which I can on a day where my brain is like this. So I got a haircut, went to onsen, also went grocery shopping, which is kind of a shame in a way, because like a part of me wants to just eat out every meal, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. But at the same time, it's not a matter of price, because in Thailand, like, you know, eating out is super cheap. But it's just like a matter of routine. Like I like having like some breakfast at home to start the day, right? Like I don't want to have to go out, you know, shower, get changed, like head out like to eat my breakfast, right? So I had to get some groceries for breakfast just for the routine. And I did something else. Oh yeah, I got my SIM card sorted for my phone. And it was super nice as well, because like there was a SIM card deal for 15 days, and I'm literally here for 15 days. So it was yeah, very money well spent. But yeah, no, happy with the haircut. Definitely could style it a bit better. Just looking at the little picture on the stream, but. Tomorrow we're gonna go hard. Who knows? Maybe tonight we'll go hard. Maybe tonight I'll head out, check out a bar, see what happens. But first, yeah, let's get some more. Let's get some more exercises in. Okay, Ljubljanic against Karpov. Black to play. Lots of tension in this one. So, okay, we've got queen, rook, rook, bishop, bishop, queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight. So we've got bishop for knight. We've got dark square, bishop for knight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Difference in pawn structure. Interesting one, where generally these pawns are worse, but then this pawn is quite backwards and quite weak. What else is there to know? So, king safety. Got some x-ray pressure here. It's quite exposed, but it's hard for the pieces to come in. Their king looks weaker. This bishop is very active. The back rank is weak. Queen wants to come in. Looks like something can happen. What about the pressure? So there's pressure this way. Pressure on the knight. Pressure on the pawns. Pressure on the bishop. Okay. Pressure on this pawn. And then x-rays. X-ray to the rook. X-ray to the square, but potentially. X-ray here, of course. And then what about loose pieces? So this guy's actually hanging. Not really loose, but it's hanging. This guy is hanging. Loose. Yeah. Okay, fine. So what checks do we have? We got check on E1. Check on H2, and that's it. What about captures? We can take on F2, take on D2, take on G2, take on F4. And then what about threats? Maybe a move like Queen H3, maybe a move like Queen F3, maybe Bishop E4. But there's no calm move here because, like, if we just let's say save the bishop, then we lose our rook, right? So we do need quite an active move. So okay, let's begin with our checks. If we start with rook e1, in this position, they can either block or they can take. If they block, feels wrong, but I don't see the refutation. So blocking is actually one option. I mean, if we take, they take, and we go queen f3. We always go rook f2. Not entirely clear. Okay, so let's consider something else. What about queen h2? Queen h2, if they were to run, then we just go queen h1 mate. So that means they're forced to take us. And is there a follow-up? Again, with the bishops and rooks like this, it doesn't feel like there should be. So, and also I can't calculate one. So, what about the captures? If we go bishop takes f4, I don't know, it seems like they can take either way, and it seems okay. Maybe if they take with the knight, taking like this is nice, but then they can take with the rook. Although you do get something, right? Like these pieces are flooding in. So what about if they just take with the pawn? Keep the knight on the square. Yeah, I don't believe it's enough. I mean, it's still promising. Maybe it's something, but let's keep going. Let's not dwell on this too much longer. So rook e1 was still potential. Bishop takes f4 still potential. If we take and they take, this is not working. There's a knight. I mean, this doesn't work. Likewise, taking here doesn't really feel like it adds anything. If you take on g2 and they just take back. If they take back though, then we've got a very big check. King f2. Maybe no follow-up there, but I don't know, probably you can take with the king as well. Okay, so what about threats? I thought queen f3 looks quite spicy. Not exactly sure what it achieves. I guess it's threatening rook check if they can't block and if they take this mate. So queen f3, it does come with a threat. Let's say they just take the rook like this. Oh wait, but then I just go take. No, I'm hallucinating. I thought I was winning material there. So yeah, what if they just ignore my queen and just take this rook? Oh, I'm not going to a bar tonight. I'm so tired. I am so tired, and I feel like my brain is shutting down from trying to calculate. So yeah, queen f3 I don't think is the answer either. What other threats did we have? We had this counterattack on the queen, but this looks really bad. Like even just taking the rook, sacking the queen, taking this rook. So maybe it's not entirely clear. Yeah, I don't buy it. Just rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes, king f7. At the very least, take. But then it's rook and knight. I don't know. Maybe that's promising. But what does this even threaten? I'd say the queen just moves. Maybe there's rook f2 there. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it achieves too much. Queen c1 surely is good enough. So do we go back to some of the moves we were looking at? Either this bishop f4 or rook e1? If rook e1... There was both rook f1 and knight takes, neither of which I was able to solve. If knight takes... Knight takes, then I can go rook takes. Then force the block with rook f1. Then I guess I can go queen in. They cannot take my rook because of queen check, king f2, queen d2, king e3 forced, and queen f3 is checkmate. So rook here, if takes, block, queen f3. Yeah, actually there's a double threat on the rook and queen h1. So it looks very strong. Oh, I hate mouse slipping. But okay, we were there, at least with the knight takes e1 line, right? So this is what we were calculating. We were calculating knight takes e1, looks like it's really promising. After this and queen f3. So then it was a matter of trying to understand what happens if rook f1. But I wonder if it's the same idea of queen f3 here. Because again, they can't take because of takes, check it. Oh, it's slightly different. Because there's no queen f3 mate now because there's a knight on e1. Queen f3, they take. Take, knight check, king f2. Oh, I don't even have queen g2 because there's a knight on e1. So where's the win? I guess taking on h2, king e3, taking on g3. Oh, and then king e2. And maybe after we give check and pick up the f pawn, then maybe it's like, what, we have 2 bishops and 3 pawns against rook and knight. Probably good. I think I'm satisfied with it. Okay, they played the worst line. Let's find out. And then queen f3. But this one doesn't feel as testing as the other one. Also gained a winning attack after this. Oh wow. So it's actually a different theme altogether. Let's have a look. So what I was hoping to play after rook f1 was to play queen f3. I had blundered the entire advantage. Yeah, actually, wow, there's no checkmate. I thought queen h2 would be strong. King f1 is what I missed. I thought this looked... I couldn't calculate the win after king e2, but I felt like this was strong. It's minus 1.5. Bishop h4 is even stronger. Fine. But no, apparently my whole line is wrong because queen h1, king f2, and then just king f1. Nothing better than to repeat. Yeah, these attacks are very, very hard. So rook f1. Rook f1, queen h2. Moves that carry a threat so that taking on h2 can be played soon are also winning. Aha. So playing a move here that threatens something and then taking on h2 is winning, but why is this winning? So if queen f2, what's the point? I don't know. I'm too tired. Oh, I meant to click the analysis button. Okay, let's see if we can get it from here. Yeah, so what was the line I even wanted to look at? You see, this is what I mean. I'm just too tired, guys. I'm too tired to actually work this out. It was this line, right? Queen h2, and then I was trying to understand like why this final position was even winning for black. Just take and queen f3, and I thought queen f2 here. Queen d3 I missed. I did see queen c3, but I wasn't entirely convinced that it was winning, but Does make sense, but it is. Queen d3, King g1, and then we've even got the fork. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Just check and jack and pick up a loose piece. But there's no hope in hell that I'm seeing that in this state. Welcome the geographical term. I've forgotten who this is. But welcome. It looks like a schoolmate of ours. Oh yeah, the guy who calls me Unk. Let's go. Also, Queen f3, Rook takes f3. Are you kidding me? Did I just miss that my Queen hangs? I probably did. I probably just missed that the Queen hangs. A nice Peter with Rook e1, Rook f1, Queen h2. Junior chess player. I see. Nice. Nah, the day you go with your junior chess friends to a lad's trip abroad, that's gonna be a crazy experience. Well worth doing though. I don't even know what mog means, but I'm an Unk, so it's allowed. Okay, let's solve this card off. Also, welcome everyone who's just joining the stream to solve some tactics together. Let's go. Okay, so we've got Queen Rook Rook Bishop against Queen Rook Rook Knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, guys, should I go out to a bar after this, or should I just head to sleep? What are the votes? What is the chess lifestyle chat feeling? Not that I'm gonna bring you there. I'm obviously not gonna keep the stream going. Imagine I just bring a laptop that's streaming to a bar. I think if someone paid me enough, I would do it. I would be able to sacrifice my non-existent reputation here and just embarrass myself by bringing a laptop to a bar. I don't know if that's even legal, actually. Are you allowed to like stream like a venue that sells alcoholic beverages that are restricted to a certain age? I don't know. These are the stupid thoughts that are making me blunder. Okay, so we've got bishop for knight. The bishop is doing pretty good at keeping our king quite safe. King's not too bad, although there's some x-ray pressure. What are the general pressures? We've got pressure on g6, pressure on the knight. This guy's a bit underdeveloped. In terms of x-rays, there's this x-ray we need to be very careful of. Maybe c7 is weak. X-ray, of course. Maybe, yeah, pressure on g6. Okay, so after x-rays, then we've got loose pieces, loose queen on d3, loose rook on a1. That's about it. Okay, fine. So what checks do we have? We have no checks. What captures do we have? We can take the knight, we can take the pawn. Take this pawn. What about threats? Maybe g4, maybe h5. Probably not rook e7. Bring the other rook in somehow. Bring it to e1. g4, h5, one of these looks quite promising though. I like h5 more than g4. Okay, let's start going one by one. So no checks, captures. If we take here, probably just pawn takes and they're fine. we take on g6, they take back and really no follow-up. Yeah, definitely not taking on d6. And then threats, what about this h5? So we're threatening to take the pawn, which is pretty good. If they take like this, that diagonal is just opened up big time. But also their diagonals, their file is opened up, right? So we need to be very careful. For instance, if we play a move like rook f1, then they can play queen g3 and get out of trouble. I feel like that's another thing about doing some trip to somewhere like Thailand, is you've got to save all these activities that you would do for more expensive in the UK and do it cheaper in Thailand, because then it justifies the flight ticket, right? Like if I get a haircut for cheap in Thailand, then it's like I don't have to spend or waste £20 in the UK getting a haircut for something that's not even as good. So, highly, highly rate this attitude. Okay, so h5, I'm struggling after g takes h5 to actually win something here. So okay, what about h5, g takes h5, bishop e4, because then that reinforces the pin, so then there's no queen takes g3 because of queen takes g3. So h5, g8, bishop e4. And I guess we can reinforce, like add pressure to that pin piece even better, right? So h5, g8, bishop e4. Let's say they go queen g5 to hang on to the knight. Then we go rook f1. They can't move their king in time, because then we're already taking on f5. So h5 looks extremely strong. I really hope that the stream is almost done and this is like the last exercise, because I'm actually so done already. h5 should be good. I mean, this is sticky, this is loose, but fine. No counter checks. I mean, only this one, which is terrible. No way to hit our queen. I mean, h5 looks really strong. h5, what do they play? A move like rook f6? Guess we can still take. They cannot take with the rook because the knight hangs, so they take with the queen, but then we can play a move like bishop e4 again. Really does look promising. I think h5 is just a move. So there was a move to defend that we didn't consider. That's annoying. Okay, so let's have another think here. Pawn takes g6 is obviously a candidate. Rook takes knight is a candidate. Bishop e4 is a candidate. So if pawn takes g6, then I guess they can either take or just move their king back. If they move their king back, that's probably good for us, because we just want a pawn. And if we take on g6, and they go knight takes g6, and we go bishop e4. Yeah, that looks quite devastating. Or is it? Pawn takes, knight takes, bishop e4, and they go like rook f6 or something. Does that actually hold? So what about this move? If they take, then we can take with the queen, king h8. Give a check, they just come block though. Not so easy. There's also rook takes g6, which is interesting. So maybe it's more desirable to keep the piece that can deliver the pin. But then even if we win the knight, then it's like we've sacrificed the rook. So maybe bishop e4 initially. We just threaten to win a pawn. And how after we deal with that? Maybe again rook f6. brain is so gone. Do I just win a pawn like this? They take. I take. They take. I take. They take. What about a move like rook e1? Like, surely that improves our position. I bet rook e1 just gets called alternative. Like, rook e1 has to be a winning move here. Because the inclusion of these two moves definitely helps white, because we've got pressure against the rook, so the knight's even more pinned. Okay, this is my bet. Rook e1 is going to say alternative. Oh, it's actually just the best move. That's crazy. That's just the best move. There wasn't anything direct then. Bishop e4, yeah, that's what we got. Wow, I wasn't expecting, because it doesn't feel like a woodpecker-y kind of move. But rook e1 was just best. That's kind of nice. That's a nice feeling. I was going to say nice end to the stream, but there's 22 more minutes to go. I'm actually going to cry. Oh yeah, the real reason I'm going to Thailand? Gonna go ladyboy. Hell yeah. Man, if I went ladyboy, I could claim WFM in 9 rating points. How crazy would that be? I could do my Title Tuesday streams already. Good luck, Prane. What kind of exams are we talking? Didn't study? Well, then you just need to, become a crammer. Grind the night before. Have everything at the tip of your brain and then just forget everything the next day. Wow, Frizz finding 97 as a defensive resource. Hg6, knight g6, rook g6. I don't think that worked. I mean, I definitely considered that as well. Oh, I did not consider rook g6. Whoops. Oh, so they have to play king h8. Oh, that's nice. I think I was only looking at bishop e4 here, and then I got stumped after rook f6. Wow, but rook f1 and it's apparently still enough. Yeah, because you got rook f7. Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, rook g6 is even cleaner. But yeah, I guess the reason why rook a1 is even stronger is that just taking here, they can just go king h8 and it's fine. Well, it's not fine. They're still down a pawn, but it's not as lost. Welcome Hushul to the stream. Yeah, serious grinding taking place for real. Like trying to train some chess while jet lagged is real tough. I seem to remember, Hushul, you've visited Thailand before, right? I'm in Thailand right now. So yeah. Good times ahead. Just for a couple weeks. Okay, you wrote 97 line after Ushain. Fair enough. Fair. Okay, let's try. Let's do at least one more. Like I'm struggling. But I mean, this actually feels like a real tournament. I sometimes get like this exhausted in tournaments and just completely crashing out and. Yeah, I don't know. Also, on a side note, I spent a lot of the plane journey rereading this absolute Bible. If anyone wants to understand how I live my life, just read this book called The 4-Hour Workweek. It absolutely changed so much. I read it like when I first started chess coaching, back in like 2020. Well, okay, I was already coaching part-time, but I mean like full-time chess coaching in 2020. It was like, such a brilliant book. It feels like it should be borderline illegal to publish, but it's like just so good. So many really nice exercises and tips and yeah. Okay, I see there are some moves on chat, so let me catch up any 4-hour workweek discussion after solving. So, okay, we've got queen, rook, bishop, knight, queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight, knight. So we've got bishop pair, we've got extra knight, squared bishop. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got extra pawn, but we've got bishop pair. Got the open H file, but king is looking kind of weak. So the instinct suddenly is like, okay, can we get away with this motif with like queen H1? Just to try and recycle the pieces and get the queen up ahead, but then there's a knight annoyingly here, so we can't do this. But it definitely feels like there could be something along those lines. Like, what if we just take on f6 first? Right? If they take back with the queen, then we go rook check, 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 and then they block and we lose the game. So this is why we just calculate instead of just trying to rush into things. Okay, so definitely got some kingside pressure. What about our king? Looks pretty safe. Actually, no checks except for queen g3, which probably doesn't work, although they can play rook e2 as a follow-up, but still. Unlikely to work, I would say. So, what about the tension? Yeah, so we've got pressure on g3. Got ideas of coming in rook e2. For us, our knight is pretty offside, their knight's pretty offside. Got pressure on f6. What about x-ray pressure? We've got x-ray pressure onto the rook. Maybe you can consider like queen h1 some x-ray pressure as well. It's like you can't use that square right now, but it potentially can. And then what about loose pieces? Loose piece. And that's about it. So, checks, captures, threats. Check. Also got a check. Then we've got capture, and then threat. Maybe queen g1 with the idea of queen h2, but it's a little bit slow. But maybe we have the time, right? We were saying how the king actually, has some time. I guess queen g1, rook e2, queen h2. No, but then there's no queen g3. Then we can at least take like this, and then we can win a piece. Queen g1 could be the move. Any other threats? Maybe bishop here is a threat. Maybe like moving the rook somewhere could also be a threat, right? Because then we're threatening to just bring the queen behind and deliver this mate. But maybe this one is a little bit more dodgy because now again this rook e2, queen h1, queen g3 idea comes in, utilizing the pinned f-pawn. So maybe if we want to double the rooks, we need to protect g3 with like rook h3. But then maybe they can play like rook e1 to block the queen, trying to help. I actually don't like bishop f6 because I'm just thinking if queen takes, then somehow they can block whenever the queen tries to come in. So okay, let's calculate. So checks, rook h8, king takes h8, queen h1. We kind of need a forcing follow-up because we've sacked the rook. King g8. Bishop takes f6 now? Bishop f6. If queen takes, then queen h7, queen h8. If pawn takes, queen h7, queen h8. So after we take the bishop, I mean, we did sack a rook though. But we are threatening some business of queen h5. And we have no check, so how does any of this get stopped? King back, bishop takes f6. Actually, the more I look at this, the more it just feels completely winning. Probably we need to calculate this queen g3, but I don't think it's enough. Okay. Queen g3 here. There's check, we gotta take it probably. They give us a check here. a bit awkward. With king f3, bishop here. Sorry, rook here, and then king g4. Then there's even rook takes g3, which looks very uncomfortable. But it somehow feels so right. And let me try one more time. Rook h8, king h8, queen h1, king g8, bishop takes f6, queen takes g3, pawn takes g3, rook e2. Maybe I go king f3, which is what I said last time. Rook e3, king g4, and it's over. Maybe not over, but definitely not ideal. Could it really be this queen g1? What do they start with queen g3, pawn g3? But then at the very least I can block with the queen and just be like, okay, you can take my queen, I've won a rook. If I can't make rook h8 work, then queen g1 is starting to appeal to me more and more. Because this is like a pin. Queen g1, what if they go like rook e1? Maybe that's the issue. They don't really want to allow the trade. Oh god. I am so tired, guys. I'm so tired. So tired. Which is good because I can go to sleep at a normal time. I can go to sleep at a normal time. Wake up, go for a swim. Life will be good. So there's one more exercise. Yeah, queen g1, I really don't like rook e1. Queen takes e1, rook takes e1, rook e1. Just seems unclear. Rook h8, king h8, queen h1, king g8, bishop f6. Queen g3, pawn g3. Rook e2 check, maybe I just... Wait, they've sacked the queen, so maybe I just go king h3 and I don't care about this attack anymore. Have we not? Rook h8, king h8, queen h1, rook, king g8, bishop f6. So we're only an exchange down there. They then sacked their whole queen for a pawn. So then I've won a knight and a queen, and they've won rook and pawn. So yeah, I just go here, so it doesn't matter. So this just works then. Yeah, I thought for some reason I couldn't go on the h file because then it blocks my attack. So queen g3 was played, rook e2 was played, just king h3. Yeah, I'm really glad to see this. But yeah, this is exactly what I wouldn't want, right? I don't know if I said that this was checkmate. I hope I didn't. But I think I stopped there because I didn't want to put my king in front of a queen. The king e3 is just better, yeah. So okay, I'm actually glad that I saw like the correct line. Oh, king g4 is very cute. Renew some threats. Of bringing the queen in. Well, okay, guys, I realize that this is not a complete stream, but thank you to Arjun for reminding me that I didn't do a Monday stream because I was busy on a layover. But yeah, I traveled for like, I mean the total flights were probably like 15 hours, and I also had like a 10-12 hour overlay where I just stayed at the airport and ended up talking to this dude who I thought was called Raven, and then I thought his name was Raymond, spelt ramen, and then it turned out that was just his like Instagram handle, and his name was actually Raymond. So it was really interesting. We basically just talked about everything there is to cover in life. There's actually not that much when you've got like 12 hours to talk. So that was a good catch up. And the idea was that we would talk the whole time and then go to sleep on our planes to avoid the jet lag. But we ended up napping as well a bit because we were just too tired. Yeah, Eric is near me. He's in Singapore. Yeah, no, I need to catch up with him and see how he's doing. I sent him a WhatsApp message with some recommendations of Malaysian stuff if he gets the chance to look. I just read 10-point bullet point summary of 4 Hour Work Week. That's brutal. Harshal. I dislike these summaries because you miss some of like the in between the line ideas, right? Well, when you just read like the basic summaries, like the basic summaries are almost a bit like maybe even the obvious points. I would say. I think there's a lot to dig up in this book. But yeah, no, like I would be curious to hear what the bullet point summaries were. Yeah, that's why I'm chilling in life. I wouldn't say that I'm down to a 4 hour work week. Not, and I also don't think I'd want a 4 hour work week. I actually think like having a bit more work and a bit more suffering is probably a good thing for me. Because if I just spent the whole time paragliding and partying, I mean, like, I think I'd also lose a lot of like other skills that are required to live a decent human life. So we need some pain. We need some streams when you're like crashing out every 2 seconds. Are you playing his Hin tournament? Hin tournament? I don't know what Hin tournament means. I'm actually playing a FIDE Blitz on Friday though, just by chance. How you 2100 FIDE? Well, that's the point. In chess, you can go a long way if you tailor the game to your skill set. And you can go a long way in life as well if you tailor the game of life to your skill set. If you just try and play like a 2700 and just try and play objectively, then probably, yeah, you're going to struggle. So, that's what I'd say. Are you also in the AI hater camp? Absolutely. Big AI hater. Just because it's like, I mean, it's inevitable. Like, it's going to be a bit like how smartphones were kind of a niche at the start and then they ended up, you know, being everyone has a smartphone nowadays. But even with my smartphones, I'm really anti-smartphone. Like my interface on my phone, I have like this thing called O-Launcher, which makes like a minimalist setup to make it as bare bones basic as possible. Because I don't like all of the stimulants. And I think AI is like, I don't like how it's being used to kind of cut corners and, you know, replace kind of like creative thinking. Like, I don't mind it kind of doing some like long effort that's kind of like meaningless and mindless. But like when it's actually replacing the creative stuff, then I feel like it's wrong. But it also makes sense why I think it's wrong, because it's one of my strengths, right? If something comes along and like tries to level the playing field a bit, then obviously I'm gonna dislike that, right? I mean, I think I've used an analogy before where it's a bit like braces. Like if braces didn't exist, I would be such like on a goat tier in terms of attraction, because I never used braces, right? And I've got pretty straight teeth. But if that was like, you know, like an attractive selling point for me, then I'd be balling, right? But because everyone can get braces and everyone can straighten their teeth, then suddenly it's like an advantage that's no longer as prevalent, right? So I feel like AI levels the playing ground a bit. But having said that, AI is still garbage. It's literally like I looked up like what's 72 hours from today. Let's see if it still fucks up. Okay, now it's got it right. Based on today, December 18th. It's not December the 18th. See, AI is just like literally. I looked up this prompt like yesterday, or a few days ago, and it literally gaslighted me. It literally said like it just got the day wrong. It can't even do basic math. So it's like I literally like I don't. So I'm kind of like also not bothered by AI when it's like this garbage, right? So basically, I'm not worried. I'm not that worried. I just don't trust it as well for my information. I think it's lazy. I think we're heading into a brain rot generation. I mean, genuinely, I went to this classical music concert in Belgium the other week, and that was the Bruck Concerto No. 1, which is an absolutely phenomenal piece. And when people were applauding, I mean, I stood up and applauded because the soloist did a phenomenal job. And this fucking kid, like, next to me. I mean, like, the dad next to me and, like, his, I don't know, like, probably, like, 9-year-old daughter next to him was just, rather than applauding, she was just screaming at the top of her lungs, 6-7, with a fucking hand movement. And it's just, like, memes don't even make sense nowadays. They don't even make sense. The meaning behind 6-7, I even bothered to look it up. First of all, there's this like video of some kids saying it like at a basketball match. Just, you know, and then it's randomly taken out of context from there. But apparently like the 6-7 reference was even from like some music video. And it's this rap song, which is like the most, it's not even mumble rap. It's like mumble. It's like, it's not even, it makes mumble rap look good. It was horrendous. It was horrendous. So imagine, like, and like the dad just didn't do anything about it. Like I was ready to slap the kid off the balcony. Like, just is so degenerate. It's actually so degenerate. And yeah, this AI next generation is just going to become even more degenerate. But having said that, no, I mean like Harshal, if you tap into AI and you make it like part of your livelihood and you get to grips with it, oh, I'm sure you can elevate any business, elevate any career. But just I'm against it, right? It's a bit like, let's say, I don't know, a few hundred years ago, I'm sure like, you know, people benefited a lot from having slaves. But I'm morally against it, right? I'm not gonna just do it because it makes life a bit more convenient. Like fuck that shit. So yeah, if you use AI, you're a slave trader. That's the conclusion of today's stream. And actually, yeah, this rant has given me a bit of energy, so maybe I'll consider checking out some local bars, grab a beer, and then go to sleep. The night is still young in the life of Michael Green. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and actually probably see you tomorrow for a Wednesday stream, as today was a catch-up. Okay, bye, guys.